Hello guys, JCXHD here, bringing you guys brand new daily Destiny content. And in today's episode of brand new daily Destiny content, we have for you my favorite, or what I think is probably the best setup for you guys to use on the Crota hard raid, or just the Crota raid period. And it's just like I said, it's my personal favorite setup, and I'm going to go over a couple different setups here that really work out well, and so you guys can see kind of how we do things when we raid. So basically, you can see my weapon setup. I've already got it here. The Fatebringer is a beast, an absolute beast at the first part of the raid, when you have all those thralls on you and you just shoot one in the head, they blow up, and you move on your way. If you have 2 or 3 people running in your group that have these, you don't have to worry about thralls for the most part, as long as everyone stays together and that straggler doesn't get left behind and mauled to death or fall into the bottom of a 5-foot deep hole that, yeah, somehow kills you. But moving on. So basically this is for the Firefly perk on it that blows up the enemies, and that is the sole reason that, and I swap up my guns several times in the raid, so I'm going to kind of go from first to last part here. So this is going to be the Light of the Abyss area. I used Black Hammer and Galahorn or Hunger Crota for ogres, either or. It just depends on which one you have acquired at that point. The Truth is also an acceptable alternative. Anything that does high damage and tracking really helps to beat those ogres down and help you guys get through that part. Okay, so going on to the bridge section, I also have my Black Hammer, my Icebreaker, which I usually swap through very often, and rather than using my Icebreaker, I swap over and rather than using my Galahorn, I'll swap over. I'll use my Hunger Crota and my Icebreaker, and that'll that takes care of my exotic slot switching over there, and still gives me great DPS. I also still use the Fatebringer for crowd control and killing thralls. Works amazing on the other side of the bridge, and that's pretty much that. At that point, when you're going through the tunnel, basically all you're trying to do is take down the Shriekers and forget about the thralls and get through as quick as possible, right guys? So when you're trying to do that, the Galahorn at 331 with a level 32 takes out Shriekers in one shot, and it works beautifully. That's how I usually solo that part to get that chest. I just shoot 2 galley rockets and go on through. So definitely a good advantage to have a Galahorn if you have one. If not, a couple people shooting two Hunger Crotas, I believe, will take it out. So, you know, as long as you have a team with you, it'll work out just fine. Make sure you have someone running and everyone else shooting. Alright, so now we're going to go to Deathsinger. Deathsinger, here's my setup for Deathsinger. The same exact thing, guys. Something to take out Shriekers, something to kill witches, and occasionally I'll swap to my Abyss Defiant to help the team out and not get DPS'd by witches. If you don't have the Abyss Defiant, I use Fatebringer or Vision of Confluence. They're all good fire damage. They take down the witches' shields fast, and the Black Hammer does the same thing. I usually say the Black Hammer for Ur-Ute to get a couple pop shots off in her head before she starts Liturgy, if I can sneak in and get lucky enough to do so. So that's basically the Deathsinger part. And then I'll always use like my Fatebringer, Black Hammer, and Galahorn for the run through to kill all the high majors and ultras there. Alright, so Crota setup. This is going to be a multi-part setup here, guys. So the Crota setup itself, and I don't have my Red Death on me. Wow, I totally fail. But when I do Sword Bearer, I use Red Death, Hunger Crota, and the Black Hammer. Use my Black Hammer to snipe the Sword Bearer when he comes out, and I'm usually on the ground after I pop the Sword Bearer a couple times, pumping him with the Hunger Crota 2 or 3 times. He drops the sword, and I have my Red Death, which is, we're going to imagine that it's right here, so that I can regain my health if I do lose health. So basically the Suros does the same thing, but it's a chance. That's why the Red Death is so much better than Suros at regenerating your health, is because you may have to kill 10 thralls with the Suros to get your health back. The Red Death, you only have to kill one and you get your health back every time. So if you have a Red Death, cool. If not, Suros is a compromise, I guess you would say. It's the second best for sure. So that's basically what I use for my Crota setup. And once again, your guys that are going to be DPSing Crota, their setup will look something like this. The Vision of Confluence, something that has a good mag in it. Vision of Confluence, Abyss Defiant, whatever, something that has a good mag in it for DPS on Crota after the fact of shooting your Galahorns or Hungers at Crota at him. Anything with tracking, like I said, is probably the best. Well, not probably the best, it is the best option. Anything with tracking is what you want to drop Crota. If it doesn't have tracking, it's trash, and you should definitely get something with tracking, even though the RNG drops in this game are not always the nicest to us. Just play through the Crota normal raid and get those Hunger Crotas at least, guys. So once again, guys, this is my setup for just kind of gun setup and weapon guide for you guys, to let you know how I do things and how we accomplish smacking Crota every week at least 10 times. So if you guys like this, please like, subscribe, and comment in the section below, and I will see you guys in the next one. I know it was kind of long, but I wanted to squeeze a lot in there, guys, so I'll see you in the next one. Peace.